Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. What a fundamental game, what a crucial game that we have on our hands on Saturday. I can easily say that Saturday's game away at Monza is one of the first most important games of the season for Roma because Champions League spots. You look at that table, they are calling. And it's that time of the season where everything is still yet to be played. Everyone's so close together. Atalanta just got battered by Inter in the game week 25, in the game week 21. When we played the Super Cup, there was that weird game week where there were only 5 games. Inter beat Atalanta 4-0. Atalanta are dropping down again. Bologna are playing Atalanta this weekend. It's just the game we need to win. It's a massive game. It is a massive game. It's one of those games which bottling it means wasting a chance. Because let me tell you all the games that we have this weekend. Lazio Milan tomorrow evening. Napoli Juventus Sunday evening. Atalanta Bologna and Torino Fiorentina. We've got a tough game and we'll speak about this. But it could be argued that we have the easiest game out of all. And if we win and all of these teams lose some points, imagine how many points we can capitalize. And I've said at the start, it's that move. UCL, Champions League is calling. We can't miss out on another Champions League. It's serious. We cannot miss out on the Champions League again. We can't miss out on the new format of the Champions League. Roma needs to be there because the more we move forward into the future, the more there's going to be a gap created by Champions League teams and non-Champions League teams. Nowadays it's like this. There's nothing we can do about it. We've made it like this. Money has made it like this. That moving forward, if you're in the Champions League, you're relevant. If you're not in the Champions League, nobody will give a shit about you in terms of money, in terms of attention, in terms of TV rights, and in terms of the transfer window. So we need that Champions League, and Saturday's game is a very important game. Let's get into this. I can't wait. I've said it already. I'm living a great moment. I'm enjoying this moment. I feel like we can get 3 points everywhere right now. Maybe not against Real Madrid, but we're living a great moment. We are. And I hope that this momentum continues on Saturday because we need the momentum on Saturday. Because Monza is a team which needs respect. Monza is a team which has surprised everybody last season and is continuing to surprise everybody this year. It's a team which is well structured, and we're going to talk about this. But as always, let me set a like target. You know what? No, if you're buzzing like me, if you can't wait until the next Roma game on Saturday, if you feel the importance of Saturday's game in the Champions League race, I'm going to go with 100 likes. Yes, because I know you can do it. I know you can hit it. So yeah, hit the like if you haven't already. Monza. We cannot, by any means, underestimate this team because they are a well-organized team. Palladino knows what he's doing. De Rossi and Palladino are great friends. They trained together to become football managers. Both of them are emerging managers. Palladino has got his philosophy, is implanting this philosophy in Monza's team, and is getting the results because a Monza team who got in the Serie A for the first time last year after it got promoted, and for 2 consecutive years Monza fighting for Conference League spots, it's impressive. And every time we faced Monza, I remember very equal games. I remember very hard games to win. Last year, when we played in that stadium, it ended 1-1. And then the entire Mourinho referee, microphone on the bench scenario event happened. And this season, when we faced them at home, we won just because we scored a last-minute winner with El Shaarawy. Otherwise, that game would have been 0-0. Monza, what's their strong point? Their strong point, my friends, is their defense. In 2024, Monza have conceded the least goals after Inter Milan in this league. It's impressive. It's impressive because They don't have a standout defender. You know, it's not like, oh well, they've got Van Dijk in defense. No, they don't have a world class player in their team, but it's a well organized team. It has been well studied, well structured. That they have one, two, three solid players which can drag this team, starting from their goalkeeper, Di Gregorio, one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Moving on to their defense, well structured, well organized, well laid out defense. In the midfield, they've got Pessina, Colpani, Valentin Carboni, young players. They know what they're doing. And this is what I love about Monza. I think Monza are a team which are I was gonna say a graveyard for young talents, but I actually I want to say the opposite, because they don't kill young talents, they grow young talents. They are a field for young talents. Colpani, in the space of 3 years, mark my words, Colpani is going to play in Milan. Either Milan or Inter, he's going to go there because he's interesting. And those teams have got an eye. They know who they're signing. Valentin Carboni, great player, young player, Argentinian player. He's coming from Inter's academy on loan to Monza. Pessina, he was in the Italian Euro 2021 team, scored the goal against, what was it? Wales. They know what they're doing. Monza needs respect. And the last thing I want to see away at Monza is a massive turnover of the team because we've got Brighton on Thursday. No, that's wrong. Because this game is more important than Thursday's game against Brighton. Because we need that Champions League. And Brighton is 2 legs. This is 90 minutes. And these 90 minutes can cost us the Champions League this season. It is massive. This game is massive. We need our strongest lineup to counter-attack and attack Monza. Let's not forget that 2 weeks ago, Monza in their home ground beat Milan 4-2. So be careful, because this is not an easy game. This is a very tricky game, complicated game, tough stadium to play in. And great manager who's enjoying life at Monza. He'll probably have a bigger move this summer. I don't think he'll extend his contract with Monza. I think he'll move. I think Palladino. I see Palladino great as a new Napoli manager. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to that. Moving on to us. This is a game which it's going to be very hard to score goals. Now, look, it's kind of a contradiction here because we are scoring a lot of goals under De Rossi. You know, we've scored at least 2 goals in every single game that De Rossi has been the manager for, apart from the apart from the 2 Feyenoord games. So in the league, we've scored 2 or more goals in every single league game with De Rossi on the bench. This is significant because it shows us that no matter who we're playing, if it's Inter or Torino, we know how to score. But Monza have got a well laid out defense and they know what they're doing in defense. So it's going to be very hard to score, but we need goals in this game. What worries me about Monza is their defense more than their attack. I think their strongest point is their defense. They're good in attack, but I think their defense is better. So I think we need to play this game on the confidence that we have, because we're living a great moment. We haven't lost one game apart from that Inter game under De Rossi. And you look at the amount of challenge that we've given to the best team in Europe right now. I think that there are credits that needs to be taken from that game. Players are enjoying life. The manager is enjoying life. The fans are back going. We need to play this game on the confidence. The key to this game is confidence, because on paper we're better than Monza. On paper we've got more talent than Monza. On paper we've got a better team overall than Monza. So on paper we can beat them. And the only way we convert this on paper we're the favourites to on the pitch we're the favourites is, as always, same things. Concentration. Because Monza away is a game where you have to be concentrated. Number 2, there needs to be an identity. You know, that we need to not play like we played in that first half against Torino. We need to step on that pitch knowing how to hurt Monza, because they've got a good defense. They are very good at not conceding and keeping clean sheets. So we need to step on that pitch knowing what to do, knowing the movements we're going to take in attack to make their defense confused. And we also are going to play this game conscious of the fact that we've got Brighton on Thursday. I said this 5 minutes ago. This game is more important than Brighton. So I think we're going to see the strongest lineup play both games. But if there needs to be a decision, it needs to be on this game. This game is massive. I mean, I'd love to win too, both of them. I would love that, and I think we can do that. It's going to be tough because both games are tough games. But Brighton is on Thursday. This game cannot just distract us because we've got Europa League on Thursday. No. We've seen too much of this last season. You know, at a certain stage last season, whenever we had a Europa League game, we were guaranteed of losing the game before it in the league. Because at a certain stage last season, we understood that, and we decided to go all in Europa League. That's a decision. You got to respect that decision. That decision was about to work out, but it didn't work out because it was a gamble. This season, we cannot make this mistake. This season, we need to fight until the very end on both fronts. No matter if players are injured, no matter if players are tired. No, we need to play until the very last game to try and get a Champions League spot in the Serie A. And we need, for our own pride and prestige, try to go as furthest as possible in the Europa League. That's the objectives. And that should be the minimum requirement for a team like Roma. We need to capitalize on other results. We need to start winning games when we need to win games. Because the only way we get top 4 this season is if we win the games we need to win and the other teams around us fall. And this is the perfect game week to do this because so many big games are going to be around us that no matter the results, some teams, both teams, one team are going to lose points. So the race for top 4 does narrow itself down. I'm very curious to see how the team plays this game, considering that we've got Brighton on Thursday. I'm curious to see how we step up on the pitch. I'm curious to see how we share attention, because there needs to be an equilibrium of attention. We're rested. We've had 1 week of rest, so I don't expect fatigue. I don't expect tiredness. In fact, the fact that we're playing on Saturday does help us because we've got 1 extra day to prepare for that Brighton game and rest up. We need to do this, lads. We need to do this. So, predicted 11. Predicted 11, with that being said, it's a strong lineup. It's our strongest lineup. Svilla in goal, Christensen and Spinazzola on the 2 fullbacks. Korsdorp has not been training with the group lately, and I just feel like Celik is the last player that De Rossi is choosing from. I think when Korsdorp isn't there, Christensen is the one. I think Celik under De Rossi is only getting some game time when he gets subbed in some games. He never really starts from the first minute. So Christensen on that side and Spinazzola on the other side. Angelino to rest. He played the Torino game. I think De Rossi likes both Angelino and Spinazzola. So it's only fair to rotate the two. Now this is where the debate is. This is where we left it in the match reaction for Torino. So I've gone with 4 at the back, but I have a lot of questions and I have a lot of doubts on this. I've gone with a 4 at the back because with a well laid out defense like Monza, we need to be playing offensive football. It's the only way we score goals. Because if we play with a 3-5-2 like we played against Torino and you put a great defense like Monza's defense, it could be a very blocked game. So I think 4 at the back, Ndika and Mancini. Smalling can start, and Smalling played well on Monday. The only thing is, I don't expect Smalling to now all of a sudden play every single game. In a few weeks, yes. But let's not forget that he was injured until 1 week ago. And now all of a sudden, I don't trust starting Smalling for 90 minutes in every single game. So he started and played the majority of the Torino game. I think Mancini and Ndika are going to play this one. But again, we could see all 3 play this game if we play with a 3-man at the back. With a three-man defense. That could happen, that can happen. we can play the three at the back. And that, in my opinion, is one of the most complicated questions and debates that De Rossi is asking himself right now. Do I stick with four at the back, knowing that is going to lead to more offensive threats, or do I stick with three at the back, be more solid in defense, but know that that can limit the chances I create? And that's a very tough question, because it's two very different things. Unless we play with the three at the back and then somehow still play with wingers, that could happen. I don't know. I would not be surprised if all three, Ndika, Mancini and Smalling, play this game just like on Monday against Torino. But I think that we're still at that stage where De Rossi is experimenting. De Rossi is still trying to find the best formation. And in a game which could result in being a very blocked game, like the Monza one, maybe four at the back is better because we need to create chances to score goals. I'm gonna keep this, but as I said, I'm not gonna be surprised at all if we play three at the back. Even though a 3-5-2 formation, I'm not a fan of it. Was Smalling really injured? We never know. I mean, we can speak about that for ages. That there are gonna be, everybody is gonna have their own theory on this. A lot of people might think that he wasn't injured. A lot of people might think he was injured. A lot of people might think he had problems with Mourinho. We will never know. So there is really no need to speak about this because the reality is that we will never know. He's back now. Let's forget about the past. Let's move forward with Smalling fit. And yeah. Right. Three midfielders, Pellegrini, Paredes and Cristante. I like Bove. I mean, he's my favorite player. You know me. But he's not getting game time under De Rossi. I think the fact that Bove is a very similar player to what De Rossi was. De Rossi really wants to take extra care on growing Bove because he knows that he can improve even more in training sessions. But as of now, Bove is not a starting player at Roma, which is very surprising because the day Mourinho got sacked, we would have probably named Bove the best player in this team. So it is surprising how De Rossi isn't really counting on Bove much. But it is all about growing him, having individual talks, individual hints, individual tips from a player, a legend, the captain of this team, who has played in a very similar position to Bove. So tactically, De Rossi can be a mastermind to Bove, but he's not a starting player right now. So I think those three are gonna start. And then in attack, El Shaarawy, Dybala, Lukaku, standard, efficient, strong. That's the way to go. They've got a strong defense. We need to come up with ideas. El Shaarawy in the box, Dybala's masterclass. We need Lukaku's physique because yes, Monza have got a good laid out defense, but they don't have standout defenders. They've got Pablo Mari and Izzo, if I'm not wrong. So we need Lukaku's physique because he can change the equilibrium of Monza's defense. He can pave the way for Dybala, and then we all know Dybala. He's living such a great moment that maybe he can score again. So that's my predicted 11. I mean, predictions. I'm so positive minded lately that I'm gonna go with the Roma win. I'm gonna go with the Roma win because I think we're gonna win this game on the confidence. The confidence of this group and of this group of players is gonna win this game. It's gonna be a very close game. It's gonna be another one of those heart attack games. I'm not expecting a 4-0 or a 3-0. I think this game could be 2-1, 3-2. No, actually not 3-2 because Monza don't score many goals. I think this game has the potentials of being a 3-1, 2-1, maybe even 1-0. But yeah, very close game. It's going to be another heart attack game. Cannot wait for it. And then the last thing which I want to do is just look at our March schedule. March tomorrow. So our March month starts tomorrow. What a month it is on both the Serie A and the Europa League front. A month where we need to minimize mistakes. A month where we need to give our best. We need to give our heart, our blood, everything we have on every single game. Because it's a month which doesn't have extremely complicated games. But it's a month which has sneaky games. I think that the definition of March is sneaky March. It's not impossible March, it's sneaky March. Because again, starting on Saturday, it's a sneaky game. It's a weird game. It's a dark game. Monza away, then we've got Brighton at home, then we've got Fiorentina away, then we've got Brighton away, then we've got Sassuolo at home. 5 games in the month of March. Realistically speaking, we need the ideal, we need to get 7 points out of 9 and qualify for the next round of the Europa League. 7 points out of 9 for our Champions League hopes would be massive, and if we qualify against Brighton, it would be great. We can get 9 points out of 9 because they're not impossible games. But we're playing in Florence, and Fiorentina Roma is a game that we never win. We never win that game. You could put Guardiola on our bench and we wouldn't win that game. I think we're not going to win in Florence. But I think we're going to win against Sassuolo, and I think we're going to win against Monza, and I think, in fact, no, Europa League, Brighton, I'm going to keep my thoughts on Brighton until next week. Yeah, in the league, we need to aim for 7 points out of 9, minimum. Otherwise, Champions League gets complicated, because we need to win these games. But it's a sneaky month, because all these 3 games in March in the league are sneaky ones. Fiorentina away is very complicated. Monza away is a weird one. And Sassuolo at home, you'd expect us to win, but Sassuolo against us, they just turn into Satan against us every time. Last season they beat us at the Olimpico. So sneaky March, concentration. We can do it because we're better than all of these 3 teams. But as always, we need to minimize injuries, and we need to maximize efficiency, work rate, and concentration. Let me read a few comments. In the meantime, if you haven't already, do hit the like. As always, like target is 100 likes. I mean, I know you can do it. It takes 2 seconds. You just gotta hit that like. It's free, and it would be great. El Shaarawy has to be clutch again. I like how Dybala hasn't been injured in some time. Let's hope not to jinx it, but yeah, I agree. Do you think Azmoun should start over Lukaku? I do, says Silas. No, I don't think, because if we start not starting Lukaku's only going to fall in a bigger depression, and that's the last thing we want for a player like Lukaku, because towards the end of the season, we need Lukaku. So, no. If Lukaku benches this game as well, I see him getting mentally lost, and it's that stage of the season where we need every single player at its best, especially our main striker. With Tammy coming back, he will have competition, of course, but I don't think he should be benched. If we start Lukaku, it might be over, in my opinion. He's been awful form. You know my crazy prediction? I think Lukaku's going to score in this game. I'm actually going to place a bet on that. I'm going to place £5 on it, €5 on it. I think Lukaku's going to score on this one. I feel it. It's something which just came up in me. I feel it. I think it's going to happen. We shouldn't underestimate Monza. I want to see Baldanzi and Dybala play together, but we can't risk it in this game. We're 4 points behind 4th. We can either rely on ourselves or on UEFA giving 5th spot a UCL spot. Why can't we win both Europa League and 4th place? We can. I mean, nothing is impossible. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Nothing is impossible. We need to, as I said at the start, we have this responsibility of going well on all fronts. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to win Europa League and we're going to get Champions League, because football's weird. But we have the responsibility of not snubbing any game, because that is disrespectful, and that is ultimately which is going to cost us points. So I know we're going to feel the fatigue playing these extra games. I know there are going to be injuries moving forward, but as a whole, we need to give it our best in every single game. I do not want to see us snubbing Serie A just because we're going to go all in the Serie A, in the Europa League. Because then if by any reason we get thrown out of the Europa League, we're fucked. And frankly speaking, I was reading an article today which described how important it is in 2024 to play in the Champions League. On every single front. I've said it at the start, if you don't play in the Champions League, you're irrelevant. That's effectively what the Champions League is now. With also the Club World Cup, the fact that the Champions League helps with this new Club World Cup format. Champions League is vital nowadays on every front. Financial front, attraction front, pride front, enthusiastic front. If we don't play in the Champions League, we are irrelevant. And we're going to continue this irrelevant path. We need to be playing in the Champions League next season. So let us pray on this miracle because it needs to happen. I heard that Francois Modesto or Richard Hoyes will be your GM. Which one would be better for us? I have no idea, mate. To be honest, can I be really honest with you? I do not care about GM right now. I mean, I do, but we've got games over games over games. That's something that us fans can't control. So, my focus right now is just on that game on Saturday. Only on that. The big problem is that this game is right in the middle of our transition period with their defense. We mustn't make the possession mistakes of the Torino first half. Pretty much every DDR lineup has had at least one big surprise. What surprise could you see this time? Sticking with the 3 at the back. That's my surprise. Even though it's not a big surprise, I see us sticking with 3 at the back. Simo, what happened to the back open? It's too expensive. It's too expensive. I want to keep that money for better things, to be honest with you. Did you see what Ronaldo did? I did see what I did. I did. Lukaku hat-trick incoming. Lukaku's going to score. Mark my words. Right, I'm going to end it here. If you haven't already, do hit the like. 100 likes if you're watching this. Look, you still haven't liked the video. What are you waiting for? You're a legend. You've done it. You see? You see? Oh, I've called it. You clicked the like. You're a legend. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Bring Saturday on. Press conference tomorrow morning. My reaction is going to come later tomorrow evening. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your dinner, breakfast, lunch, and talk to you soon. Simo, out.